Hello everyone, so let's bow in. Okay, so today I thought I would continue onward with my second video in dealing with my training with the late Guru Rudy Terlinden back in the 80s. And what I wanted to talk a little bit about today is some of my experiences with him, and also we will go through Juru number 3. You know, when I went to Rudy, the first thing he introduced me to was the Jurus, along with some exercises and so forth. But I remember, this is back in the 80s, I remember going to him, and every day that we would go in there, it would be Jurus. And if you were done with 2, he would come up to me, tap me on the shoulder, Mike, you ready for 3? After 3, Mike, you ready for 4? Mike, you ready for 5? And that's the way it would go. And as we were learning the Goddess Lotus, the straight line, he was also introducing the Juru-Tiga. He was also showing the movements to go through the Juru-Tiga and so forth. So there never was ever anything mentioned about not showing, not teaching, not any form of secrecy, or any of that stuff was ever mentioned to me. I actually brought students down who were training with me in other arts and friends and so forth to Guru Rudy's house. One of them was a good friend of mine, Lewis and Kay, who I went to high school with, and we had a great time. And you know, every time you went to Guru Rudy's house, you went over there, you were always greeted. We always prayed before, we prayed after the class, and then oftentimes he would bring out tea and cookies. And another point I wanted to make is you were able to train with someone and understand his essence. What do I mean by that? It's one thing to see things on a video, but it's another thing to be able to train with someone who's there to guide you with your hand, your footwork, and give you an explanation of and a breakdown of what you're doing. And I feel very blessed for having met him, trained with him, and he opened my eyes to the martial arts in a different perspective and so forth. Anyways, in dealing with the step, Rudy was always about dealing with the step, because he always wanted to beat the man to the punch. He says, you cannot wait, you must go in. And it takes great courage to learn a technique and to actually execute it. These are some of his words. Also, you know, when you're stepping, as we all know, we're stepping in heel toe, we're stepping back toe heel. And there's different steps. You have a short step, medium step, and long step, and so forth. And another thing is when you're stepping, and I'm going to use my hand as my foot. So the top part of the hand here, if we cut across where this part is on our foot, this was a triangle, right? And below it, the middle of your foot, instep and so forth, is a square with lines going through it, an X, and then the bottom is your heel, which is a circle. So it was triangle, square, circle, Juru-Tiga, circle, and so forth. The little toe gave you the balance, and the big toe gives you the power. And these are just some of the breakdown of what he taught to me. So in dealing with Juru number 3, when we have our knees together and we're inside, you can see it's coming from here and it's coming down. Same hand that's up is the same hand coming down. And we're dealing with one which is a female and a male, or you could say the moon and the sun, or you could say a sword and a hammer. So this hand here is the blocking hand, and it has double taps. It has ways of intercepting, where it's cutting across the eyes. It has ways of blocking and then coming in with all different type of techniques. The hammer is used for, you know, your vertical punch, horizontal punch, cutting across, using all different type of hands. The finger here. He even used a ginger hand at one time. And then of course we have the bat too. But in breaking down Juru number 3 to where we're here and our knees are locked in, we come in, we turn the foot. As we drop our weight and we turn the foot, we come in and we hit. And we make that circle and we hit. Now, you don't have to make the circle. You could just be from in here and just come in and start, right? You don't have to make that circle. That circle has a number of techniques. One could be coming over the top, another one could be blocking and shooting a backhand. So from in here, as we drop and we come in and we hit, here we go, and then we hit, and we come up, we come back, over. Now this our first movement is here, is we're turning, and then we're dropping as we come down, and we hit, and then we come up. Let's do it on this angle here. See? We're from in here. I'll do it on this angle here. And that's Juru number 3. And if you notice, just to give a brief explanation, you notice we have this circle, right? This circle as we're coming through. And that circle is like a bolo punch. Because if we were to throw a jab, if we're in a pukulan stance, we throw a jab, we come in, we're using that power coming up if we want to hit the guy in the gut with a bolo punch. Also, if you want to notice something that I have, if you're going through one, and say I have a sword, say I'm using a sword, well, 1 comes in with the straight line, right? 2 comes from here to where you could be cutting over, you could be coming over the top and cutting. And 3, if you notice, comes from in here, it makes a circle, and it comes in. 4 comes to the outside and in. 5 comes in. 6, so forth. And if you notice, it's all circles. It's all circle, because even when you're coming, here's the circle. See? Here's the circle. Even if I had a knife and I was in here and I was cutting, and don't get about the knife, because Rudy really loved the knife. And he actually taught me a really cool knife form after him and I started going through different techniques and exercises. He started with the knife form, and I think he taught like, I think there was 1 or 2 more in class that were learning that along with me. And like I said, I'm doing this and I'm teaching these Jurus out of the passion that I had for the art and my remembrance of the late Guru Rudy Terlinden. I deeply respected him and his art. I'm not looking for fame, glory, or riches. I'm only doing this from my heart as a remembrance to him, because he always told me, he said, Mike, he would say to me, Mike, what you learned from me, what I want you to do is look at it as a mirror. Okay? Take that mirror and destroy it, and then put the pieces back together as you. And I've said this before. He said to me, what's really stuck in my mind, if you want to honor me, never copy me. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's bow out.